But the report of the details of what happened is alarming. A young child says, quote, "Granny killed Mommy. She stabbed her in the neck." Mommy being 24-year-old Gabrielle Torrance. Although she survived the knife attack, her brother, 18-year-old Devin Francis, did not. According to the report, two young children recount the attack to deputies as, quote, "Uncle D came into the room and was poked with a knife by Granny." The children then report that their grandmother and suspect Janelle Francis stabbed herself in the chest over their Uncle D. For Sheriff David Morgan, the children were his concern at the time of the stabbing.
Unfortunately, two minor children were in the home during this incident. They were ages 4 and 5 who witnessed the attack.
For people who live nearby, it is just as concerning.
It was just shocking, like I said, to be this close and to know things are going on like that right around you, and you might have been seeing these people at the store or something like that.
For now, Janelle Francis is facing a homicide and attempted homicide felony charge. Reporting in Pensacola, Catrice Nolan, News 5.
Take a look as 21-year-old Elisa Lamb riding an elevator at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. So she peers out the doors, runs back in, and then presses several buttons. Strange behavior. But what happened afterward is even more bizarre. Several weeks after she was last seen, Los Angeles fire crews pulled Lamb's body from the hotel's water tank on the roof. So let's turn now to CNN's Kyung Law in front of the Cecil Hotel right now. A very gruesome find, very perplexing mystery here. What more do we know about this case?
Well, let's start with the actual murder case, the actual case itself. I can't call it murder because what the LAPD is saying is they're treating this as a suspicious death. They are not calling it a homicide. What they will tell us is that Lamb, a resident of Vancouver, Canada, came down here as a tourist. She arrived in Los Angeles on January 26th. Well, on January 31st, she went missing. She was last seen here at the Cecil Hotel. You've seen that surveillance video. You've seen pictures that the LAPD has sent out of her. Then yesterday, the maintenance worker, responding to some concerns about some water problems at the hotel, went and checked the rooftops water tanks. There are 4 of them. When he looked in one of them, that's when he made the gruesome discovery. The fire department investigators have been here. They did identify her through body markings. At this point, the autopsy is still being conducted. Frederica's still waiting for that.
And so what kind of role did the hotel guests play in all of this? Apparently they were very concerned about the water pressure and then once they learned why, did the hotel guests know about this? How were they enlightened, so to speak?
Well, some of them learned by watching the local news. You may notice that the front doors of this hotel are open. The hotel has not closed. It has stayed open. It is on a flush order, meaning that all the people who are here, they can only use it to flush the toilets. No showering, no washing your hands, definitely no drinking of the water. So we've spoken to some residents here who say that the hotel has not been honest with them, not been forthcoming. And here's what one couple from the UK told us.
The water did have funny taste.
It wasn't right.
There was something wrong. The pressure in the water was terrible. The shower was awful. The water, and when you turned the tap on, the water was coming black first for 2 seconds, and then it was going back to normal. But in UK, we drink water from tap, and it has completely proper, nice taste. But the water here, we never thought anything of it.
We thought it pollution.
We thought it's just the way it is here.
The hotel is having them sign waivers saying, yeah, you can stay here at the hotel, but it's not our fault if anything happens to you. We do want to add, Fred, that we did call the Department of Public Health. The Public Health Department is thoroughly testing the water now.
A disturbing image hidden inside a toy purchased at a local dollar store.
News Center 7's Lauren Clark with why a Kettering mother wants it off the shelves.
A mother bought her toddler this princess wand at the dollar store behind me. Imagine her surprise when the curious little girl peeled back the foil to find this image of a girl cutting herself inside. The packaging promises fairies and, quote, wonderful music, but I doubt many people would call this music. It's difficult to see the image clearly in the dark, but if you pull back the foil, there's no mistaking it.
And if you look close enough, it's not a drawing. It's an actual picture of the girl slitting her wrist. I'm outraged over it. I want to know how they think that is suitable for a child.
Nicole Allen said she found the wand for her 2-year-old daughter in the toy section of the $1 store on Linden Avenue last weekend.
There was Barbie dolls on one side and baby dolls on the other side, and these were right in the middle of where they were at.
The owner of the store told me parents need to pay more attention to what they're buying for their children.
The name on it, it says evil stick. So from the name, I would, if I'm buying it for my kid, and I have a lot of kids, and I have young ones, I would inspect it before I even give it to them.
He also said that while he would not buy the toy for a toddler, he thinks it's okay for older kids.
For a 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, I mean, they see that on TV every day.
But Nicole and other shoppers at the store disagree.
You don't want to think about little girls picking that up and thinking this is normal, you know, or funny or interesting or any of those things.
The owner of the store tells me he will not be taking the item off of his shelf unless he receives a complaint directly from a customer. In Dayton, Lauren Clark, News Center 7.
New details released by the Ohio Board of Embalmers and Funeral Directors reveal the findings of state investigators reporting disturbing conditions of the bodies removed from Tate Funeral Home, 11 in total, many reportedly covered with mold and decomposing, one reportedly infested with insects, a premature infant submersed in embalming fluid.
I feel so sorry for all the families because I know what we've gone through.
Pamela Fear was the first to call attention to the funeral home when she contacted state officials expressing concern that her uncle had not yet been cremated more than a month after his death.
We went back and viewed the body. It's a horrible condition.
She said there were mixed feelings when learning the licenses of Tate Funeral Service and funeral director Robert Tate had been suspended by the board.
At first, I didn't think anything was going to happen. I really didn't. But, you know, it makes me feel good because now these other people may not even found out what was going on.
At a meeting in Columbus, the board recommended to charge the funeral home and Tate himself with 2 violations of holding a dead body before final disposition for more than 48 hours after death and without being embalmed or properly refrigerated. The board also recommends Tate be charged with 10 violations of immoral or unprofessional conduct, adding that Tate exhibited conduct detrimental to the profession by treating 10 corpses in a way that would outrage reasonable family and community sensibilities as referenced in Ohio Revised Code.